So just recently I've been buying loads of new car camping bits and bobs from Amazon, and whilst I could do a car camping Amazon haul type video, to be honest there's one item in particular which I think is absolutely blinding, but I might as well also show you the other little bits that I got. So the first little thing I bought was this, and this is a 12-volt plug doubler. So the reason why I wanted this was that when I do my multi-day in Wales, this basically means I can charge my Allpowers via the 12-volt on the go, and I can also keep my sat-nav in. So this is actually a really handy thing for car camping, especially when you're driving rather than on the car camp itself. So the next thing I bought is to help the blackout divider. So I already have a blackout curtain, which is absolutely fantastic, but the problem with my blackout curtain is the fact it is brown, and there's always that little part of me that thinks people will notice it more when I've got it in front of the front seats, because sometimes I have the curtain in front of the front seats, sometimes I have it behind. Anyway, so I've always had that thought that if it was black it would be so much better. Now I didn't want to buy a new curtain because there's nothing wrong with the brown one, so what I did, I bought one of those divider curtains that you see on Amazon and other places like Temu and stuff like that. So I bought this one, it cost a whopping £8, and as you can see this is what it looks like when it's up. Now I must say it isn't fully blackout, there's no doubt about that, you can see the light coming through. But what this importantly does, first of all, it fits in my existing curtain pole that I've got up there, so that's super handy. And it does actually serve the purpose I want it to. So whilst it's not long enough to fit all the way down to the bottom of the seats, it will hide the fact that there's brown. So whilst it's not perfect, it's perfect for me. But I wouldn't recommend buying one of these if you was buying it purely for blackout, because it's not blackout enough in my opinion if you want to be proper stealth. And so my plan of how I would use this is that I would have the curtains like that, and then I'd put my blackout behind it. So let's see if that works too. And the simple answer is, as you can see, it does clearly work. And actually, to be fair, I think it's going to be even better because it's going to give the actual curtain something to hold on to when I put it in properly. So yeah, a good purchase, well worth the £8, and when it's all done up properly, that will be completely covered. But what I do really like about this is that actually I can leave those curtains up all the time, because where they open up like a pair of curtains, you can actually fold them up the sides as well. And then that'll be really useful for things like lunchtime naps and stuff like that. So if ever you want a bit of privacy in the car for whatever reason, you literally have curtains that you can just drop down and close up, and it's good enough. So before I get on to the main item that I want to show you in this video, there are of course two other items that I've bought recently from Amazon that you would have seen, and that is of course my 600-watt travel kettle, which I must say is very good, and then another item which I have been asked to do a separate review on this already, and to be honest I will at some point, and that is, as you would have seen already, my rather awesome new electric saucepan frying pan steamer thingy, which is absolutely blinding. And if you haven't seen this already, this cooks on both 300 watts and 600 watts. It comes with 2 steamer plates and it comes with a dinky little spatula, but this is a really good piece of kit, and yeah, I will do a separate video on this at some point. So when it comes to being cold in the car, as you'll know already, I have my heated fleece and I have my heated socks, and to be honest they are absolutely blinding. Now the one thing that I've never really looked at is buying a proper electric heater, because even with this big old new power bank, the Allpowers R1500, 1000-watt heater will only last an hour and a half or something silly like that. So there's no point buying those proper heaters. But what I found by absolute fluke yesterday or the day before when I was on Amazon was a low watt, small, cheap item that you can use as a car camping heater. And what makes this item even better is that it's not advertised as a heater as such. It works on 12 volt, The wattage it uses is about 100 to 150 watts. You ready for it? It's an auto heater fan. What is an auto heater fan, you ask? So an auto heater fan is this little thing here. It's got a little heater vent on the front. It's got heat and fan buttons on the side. And it's a little 12-volt connector. It's actually designed to be a means to defog your front windscreen. So you plug it in the front, boom, defogs. Now it comes with a load of connections. You can either screw it in. I don't know why you'd want to screw it into your dashboard, but it comes with screws, and it comes with, I think, a Velcro pad in the box as well. Now, even though this has no settings on it other than hot or fan, basically, if you imagine you're in the back of your car, you've got your blackouts on, you've got your curtain up, you're all cocooned in. Basically, this little thing, I think, will heat up this tiny space quite easily and quite fast. So the best thing of all about this item is the low wattage that it uses. So whilst I have a big 700 watt and a big 1800 watt power banks now, I could run this on my trusty Jackery. And I'll show you that in a minute. And that's why I think this one is so good, because the fact it is such low watts and the heat that comes out of it is actually quite good. And of course, I haven't mentioned the price yet. I bought this for £15.29. Should have been £19.99. There is a special offer at the minute. And as with all these items, you'll find it in my Amazon store link, which will be in the description below. If you do buy anything from that list, I will get a tiny commission, like 10p or something. So yes, Amazon store link, everything I've got, and all these items here are in that link as well. So let me show you what it's like both in the Allpowers and the Jackery. Now clearly it's a bit difficult to show you when something's hot, but at least I can show you how much it draws. So a handy thing as well with this is the fact that you can pivot it. So you have it up, have it down, you have it, well, it pivots. And on the Allpowers you can see it is drawing 111 watts. And looking at this, you could run it for 8 hours. So a whole night basically. You wouldn't want to run it for a whole night clearly, because you'd drain your whole battery down. But the point is, you see how low wattage it is. Actually, you know what? I can show how warm it is, because I have my little car camping thermometer. So let's just cook the thermometer. Well, I fully appreciate that putting a hot fan in front of a thermometer is not exactly much of a scientific test, and it is safe to guess what the outcome of that test would be. But the thermometer is still continuing to get hot. It is now 19 degrees. It's still going up, which shows that the actual temperature in the car has been risen, even only by having that on for a minute. This will work really well for when I need it. It's small, it's compact, I can put it under the chair, I can put it in these back weird compartments in here. If I suddenly get cold during the night, I can literally whip it out, the heater that is, and warm myself up. As I mentioned earlier, the good thing about this fan is that you don't need a beast of a power station to power it. And I will demonstrate that now with my trusty Jackery 240. So the interesting difference between when you plug this into the Jackery and when it's in the Allpowers is the fact that on the Jackery it pulls a lot more, so 162 watts. I'm not sure why that would be, but either way, the point is the Jackery 240 can power this little heater quite happily. And of course, the thing you might have twigged already is that not only does this have a fan heater, this also has a cold fan. So you could even use it when it's a hot day as well. it only uses 4 watts of power, so it has a really handy dual function. Well, I hope you found this little video useful, and I'm certainly going to be taking this little fan on all my next car camps, because I want to see what it's like to actually have it turned on with the blackouts on and me all cocooned inside the car. I do have a gut feeling it is actually going to be really good, and it is going to heat the car up fantastically, and I'm especially looking forward to be able to put it on first thing in the morning. You know, when you wake up about 5 a.m, 6 a.m, I can turn this on and it would just gently raise the temperature of the car. So yes, until next time, take care.